I had a business owner reach out to me the other day, and he's concerned that his top talent are going to leave. And at first I assumed that he was meaning that they might leave to the competition or that they were switching industries. And occasionally I even have folks who are concerned because the people are gone back to school that they're going to be leaving the industry completely. But this particular business owner was worried about a growing trend. And well, he should be worried. And that is that a lot of his people have side hustles. In other words, they have other part-time jobs that they are in control of. He's concerned that his people are so talented, that are so great, that they are actually not going to leave for the competition, but the competition has now become his own staff. So here's the concern with this thinking. I mean, it's true that the gig economy continues to grow in Canada and throughout the world. About 50% of Canadians within the next couple of years will have a side hustle. The flaw in the thinking is not the concern that this trend is rising, because I'm going to share with you in a moment how this actually will benefit him and other employers tremendously. The concern is that people see their own people as competition. This creates a scarcity mentality where you keep your intellectual property and your ideas to yourself. It means that perhaps you're going to give opportunities to people who show less industry and innovation. And perhaps even that you're going to hold back in giving people information and opportunities when you know they are your top performers. When in actual fact, the opportunity is these people have basically self-identified as your superstars. If they're this motivated that they're going to work hard and hustle in their own business, then who's to say that they're not going to hustle and work hard in your business? They probably are investing in themselves time, energy, and money in their development to grow, and you can benefit from that while they're there. And not only that, it gives you the opportunity to rise to the challenge. Because you see, the biggest number one concern about this and why this had become such a concern to him was that he had been really investing heavily in his people. And great places to work do that. We've seen time and time again with studies where individuals have workplaces and independent organizations where there is a big investment in people, that there is a greater likelihood that individuals are likely to stay. And he was concerned that all of that investment was going to go walking out the door. What he forgets, though, is the benefit to those individuals of staying there is of community and collaboration and teamwork, is of healthcare benefits and insurance and all kinds of other perks that are very hard for people to afford, particularly in a side hustle, but even as their full-time employment for themselves. And also that he has a great place to work. So when we're not focused on that scarcity mentality, what can employers do as they're seeing this growth in their best people and other folks who are joining the organization already coming from a place of also having a side hustle? Number one, don't assume from the fact that people have a side hustle that they're just waiting it out where you are until they launch. Many people will never go into business for themselves. Maybe it's that their business isn't scalable. They might be having a side hustle that's part of really somebody else's multi-tiered marketing. And not everybody wants to do that. Not everybody wants to take on the risk. So first and foremost, don't worry that your best people and your rising stars, your talent, are actually your enemy or your competition. Number two, don't assume that people are trying to get your intellectual property. Instead, why don't you see it as these are the folks who have self-identified as the most scalable and willing to grow. I'm sure we've all been in situations where we've gotten a promotion and it makes it even harder, the idea of being able to leave that organization. Now, I know this may seem a bit contradictory because for people who do leave the organization, I do entrepreneurship coaching, but what I'll tell you, one of the number one reasons why people do not make the leap to entrepreneurship or not right away is because they have so many wonderful opportunities where they work that they have no reason to leave. In fact, there is fewer incentives to leave and more to stay. The third thing is, don't forget about your recognition efforts. If you're a great place to work, which I know you are, if you're watching this video, you're clearly invested. Remember that when people feel valued and appreciated, whether it be by you, by their colleagues, by your customers, remember that those are the folks that are going to want to stay. It's very hard to recreate that context outside of a work environment. So continue. Don't stop your efforts of recognizing those people. If anything, double your efforts and make sure that they know how meaningful that their contributions are, how valued they are, and how they fit, and that your organization would be lost without them. The more you can remember what makes them talent that you want to retain, and you continue to hold them in that high regard, and there's no icky weirdness that comes with, oh gosh, are you going to be my competition? The longer you're going to hold on to them, and you may find that they will never leave. If anything, they may actually be your best recruiter, because if in fact the worst case scenario happens and they leave, don't you want them to be your recruiter? I mean, who better to fill their shoes than the employee themselves, right? At the end of the day, worst case scenario happens and that great person leaves. I bet you any money, with you treating them with respect, them doing meaningful work and feeling super valued, they're going to find their replacement that will do as good a job and perhaps even better in the long run. My name's Sarah McVanel. If you want more tools and strategies around leveraging recognition to retain your great people, hop on over to my website and download anything you'd like on the Cool Stuff page.